Listen up, business leaders and innovators. We need to talk about the next 2 years because what you do now will define your company's future. Think of it this way: 2025 is the year of preparation. 2026 is the year of pressure. Let me break down exactly what that means for you and your business. Right now, in 2025, the landscape is all about getting your house in order. It's the final dress rehearsal before the main performance. Companies are actively focused on 3 key areas. First, they're finally getting serious about measurement. This isn't just about ballpark figures anymore. We're talking about meticulously measuring ESG, that's environmental, social, and governance data. This includes getting a real, hard number on your carbon footprint. It's about knowing exactly where you stand, because you can't manage what you don't measure. The smart companies are investing in the tools, the talent, and the processes to capture this data accurately and consistently. They're treating it with the same seriousness as their financial data. Why? Because soon, it will be just as important. Second, 2025 is the year for piloting and experimentation. Specifically, with circular products, the old model of take, make, waste is dying. The future is circular, where products are designed to be reused, refurbished, or recycled, keeping materials in circulation for as long as possible. Right now, companies are launching pilot programs for these circular products. They're testing the logistics, the consumer acceptance, and the economic viability. It's about learning what works in a relatively low-risk environment. Can you design a product that's easily disassembled? Is there a market for refurbished goods? How do you handle the reverse logistics of getting products back? These are the questions being answered in 2025. It's the laboratory phase for the circular economy. Third, it's about testing renewable energy strategies. For years, many companies have talked a big game about renewables. In 2025, they're putting their money where their mouth is. They're not just buying a few carbon credits and calling it a day. They are actively testing different strategies. This could mean installing solar panels on their facilities, signing power purchase agreements or PPAs with wind farms, or even investing in new renewable energy technologies. They're figuring out which combination of strategies provides the most reliable, cost-effective, and environmentally beneficial power for their specific operations. It's a year of strategic trials, figuring out the energy mix of the future before it becomes a critical necessity. So, that's 2025. Measure, pilot, test. It's a year of foundational work, of building capabilities, and of learning. But here's the crucial part: the clock is ticking. Because when the calendar flips to 2026, the entire game changes, the pressure gets turned up to 11. In 2026, those things you were just measuring and testing, they become mandatory. The expectations shift from voluntary action to enforced compliance. First and foremost, ESG reporting becomes a non-negotiable reality. We're seeing regulations solidify across the globe, from Europe's CSRD to the SEC's climate disclosure rules in the US. In 2026, it won't be enough to publish a glossy sustainability report with vague promises. You will be legally required to report detailed, audited ESG data. Companies that haven't mastered their data collection in 2025 will be scrambling, facing potential fines, legal action, and serious reputational damage. The era of greenwashing will be over. The era of accountability will have begun. Next, let's talk about emissions. In 2026, the focus will sharpen intensely on Scope 3 emissions. Now, if you're not familiar, Scope 1 emissions are your direct emissions. Scope 2 are from the electricity you buy. But Scope 3... that's the big one. It's all the indirect emissions in your value chain, from your suppliers all the way to your customers using your products. For most companies, Scope 3 accounts for the vast majority of their carbon footprint. In 2026, stakeholders, investors, and regulators will be scrutinizing your Scope 3 data. They'll want to know what you're doing to decarbonize your entire supply chain. This means you can't just clean up your own operations. You'll be responsible for influencing and collaborating with all your partners. The pressure to manage this complex web of emissions will be immense. And finally, this all culminates in the most critical shift of all. In 2026, sustainability will directly and undeniably impact your bottom line. It will move from the corporate social responsibility department straight into the CFO's office. Your ESG performance will be a key factor in your company's valuation. Investors will use this data to assess risk and future-proof their portfolios. Banks will factor it into lending decisions and interest rates. Customers, especially the younger generations, will increasingly make purchasing decisions based on a company's environmental and social credentials. In 2026, poor sustainability performance won't just be a PR problem. It will be a direct hit to your revenue, your stock price, and your ability to attract capital and talent. So, let's put it all together. 2025 is your window of opportunity. It's the time to build the systems, run the experiments, and gather the intelligence you need. It's the year to get ahead of the curve, to turn sustainability from a cost center into a competitive advantage. Because if you wait, if you think you can figure it all out in 2026, you will be too late. The pressure will be on, the rules will be set, and you'll be playing a desperate game of catch-up while your prepared competitors are racing ahead. The takeaway is simple, but urgent. 2025 rewards the prepared. 2026 punishes the unready. The actions you take in the coming months will determine which side of that line your business falls on. Don't wait to be pressured into action. Start preparing now. If you want more insights on how to build a future-ready business and stay ahead of these massive shifts, make sure you subscribe to the channel. We're here to help you navigate what's next. Thanks for watching.